Okay, so now we're going into the hen house area. This year much better than it was last year. Last year it was just full of weeds. Look at these potato plants. They're like huge. I just couldn't shovel any more dirt in them. It was exhausting. Here's my bees. Uh-oh, it looks like something dug underneath there, though. Something's moved in, people. Oops. Something lives underneath there. Can you see that? I wonder if it's a raccoon. A baby raccoon living with the bees over there. Because the bee's nest was over here. Where are the bees? Something crawled underneath that thing. The bees live underneath here. Okay, members and friends, I think you can see me here, right? I have this little, looks like a phone, video camera in case of emergencies. My other two are in the pawn shop. That's how bad the economy is. So, it's back to ground level here. I'm going to kind of walk you through my day. I'm going to start on this porch. I don't know, it's been out there, for about a month now? And the tarp's been blowing around, and the rain's been coming down, and cats have been walking on it, and raccoons digging. But it's kind of systemic, right? Every year I have problems with that porch, just things getting ruined, so I'm going to do is I'm going to clear it off. I'm going to gut out my little greenhouse in there, move some things around because we got the shed kind of half built, 3/4 built now. Dan's not here anymore, so that's another day, a different story, right? Today we're going to talk about, do an inventory on the yard, right? That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little inventory. And I just want to remind people that if I didn't have the nonprofit, honest to God, I don't think I'd be walking you through my day, right? Because I tell you these things just to show you, on one hand, I show you, like I did the little event there, right, with the kids and stuff in the community. And, that's what the nonprofit represents, right? I don't know if you can hear me. There's little backgrounds, video in there. So, anyway, I'm going to go street busting with my little boombox thing now to try and promote this nonprofit out in the community. Because when I say that if I go to a company and I say, here's a box, put it there for me, right, the foundation, and da-de-da-da, and they're saying, well, we don't want to because we're afraid the box is going to get taken. And you hear that more from one person, more than one person, right? And if it's not that, then you hear, hold on a minute. So anyway, this thing runs on a battery and it's already to go, getting low, so I don't know if I have any more batteries around the house. I haven't recharged any. So as I was saying, or if you go to a company and you ask them to become a member to the foundation, and they say, well, it's somebody, I'm hooked up with somebody else, or I already do my donations and I get my tax charity receipt. Can you give me one if I was to give? And I'm like, no, because we're not a registered charity yet. I have a board, but I don't have an active board of directors. There's a difference. A board of directors and an active board of directors are two different things. In terms of getting out there and marketing things in a very aggressive manner. Or however people do it. But what the problem is you already have these well-established... Can you stay quiet? Quiet! Distraction. You have... What you're doing is you're competing with well-established societies and non-profit organizations and charities, right? The bigger, upper... already connected in with the unions, and they take money right off the check, or they're connected to major, food chain companies or that type of thing, right? predominant charities overtake everything they do. And that's why I walk you through my day. Because at the end of the day, when us little people try and do a nonprofit, you know, we're drowned out. That's what you call it, being drowned out. Nobody can hear us. They can't. They don't hear us. They don't see us. They don't believe in us, right? And it makes it very difficult for, you know, common day folk, you know, everybody that's just you know, just the common day folk, right? Trying to do something in their community. And so, you know, when you see me out in the park with the kids or whatever it is, that's what the foundation is supposed to represent. I'm just the vessel to give you that message. I don't know how to explain it. There's only one Mama Lynn. Mama Lynn can't be everywhere, right? And that's not the point. The point is that the program that I'm participating in, that I'm bringing to you, the viewer, right, to show you that this is what we can have. This is what we can do, right? This is what we've done. This is what we need to do, right? But when you get back in the real world, after it's all said and done, and you look around, and you see the things that oppress you that aren't necessarily even your responsibility, and it comes from all different types of directions. You know, there's the physical, there's the financial, there's the emotional, right? And it makes it very hard. It makes it very hard to stay focused on a foundation when you're being nickeled and dimed to death in, you know, just general politics. Never mind having to get into that nickel and diming and try and solicit funds for a foundation that, you know, at the end of the day, people can agree that, yeah, this is probably something that we should be doing for our community, but it's not something that they're willing to invest in. Not participate, because if they're around, they will participate. But I'm talking about investing. You know, just like I'm investing in this yard that doesn't even belong to me. That takes away my time and energy and money from what I'm talking about right now in terms of the nonprofit. You know, somewhere in my month, I have to find the time now to dress up, put on a persona, right? Because you know that's going to happen. Go get my little boom box, convince my daughter to come out and play a tune on the keyboard for me to attract people so that they'll listen while I'm on the mic, asking them to make a donation into my collection box right there on the streets, because under the circumstances right now in the way politics is set up in our community, and just everybody's paranoia and everybody's stressed out and financially strapped and just with the whole 9 yards, you know, maybe I'll get a couple dollars that way, and I'll promote the foundation that way. And yeah, there will be a video, because that's the only way I can tell you this story. That's the only way I can tell you the struggles that I go through to convince people that they need to start doing something for their kids, you know. And I'm not talking just about the little ones. I'm talking about the medium-sized ones. I'm talking, and the big ones, you know. Now, I have homeless people crossing through my yard all the time. They leave their bags sometimes. As a matter of fact, Dan was homeless with his RV. I was just not telling you that story yet, because it's not about Dan today, right? It's about a foundation that exists. To what degree, I don't know. I just know that it exists. You can't just pick up one day, go to a park, set up, hang out for 5 hours or whatever it is.
I want more egg
I'm talking. Wait till I'm done talking. Follow what I'm asking you to do. Show some manners. Children need manners. You know, I got a lot of videos. I get 100 to 150 views a day. For a small fry, that's a lot of freaking videos. 100 to 150 videos today. I say to my dad and my family, I don't know what these people are watching. Nobody's really saying anything. Everybody's quiet, but they're watching. Somebody's watching something. To go through 100 videos a day, people, that's a views. I know maybe they're not watching the whole video, but they're still going through the videos. Somebody's going through those videos. So I must be reaching somebody, you know, and if maybe not now, Well, maybe in 5, 10 years from now, because those videos are not coming down. There's going to be the story. The story will always be there. It's the question of how the story ends. We just haven't gotten there yet, right? And, you know, in terms of a foundation that can represent billions of dollars for millions of people, because that's the way it was set up financially through its books, and a chain reaction. But how do you get everybody on the same page? Especially when you're so disenfranchised with your own life in terms of, you know, a yard that you can't cope with anymore and that you're actually starting to give up on because you're realizing in your head that, you know, one, it's not fair. It's just not fair that this burden should be put on me, right, in terms of landscaping with no resources, right? And then have to deal with a leaky boat to boot, right, in terms of a house that has water problems when it comes to porches and stuff like that and bathrooms. So anyway, I'm pulling myself up by my bootstraps today. I'm prepared to go out in the streets with my little boom box and my collection boxes and continue marketing this nonprofit. Just like I will continue to make videos so that people understand that this nonprofit may be low on the scale, but it's still important. It's important just as much as those big charities up there are important. The only difference is I ain't down here writing for a community grant. Oh, please, bigger charity, can you give me a little grant so I can go out and do some little things with the kids in the community? No, I'm saying we the people need to start investing into this nonprofit and start fresh. Start fresh. You know, get off the bandwagon with the big one that just drowns everything out. And then when you go out and you talk to the little people, this one is actually supposed to help. They will confirm that those big ones aren't necessarily always helping. Because when they're out there in the streets, and when I'm out there with the kids, I'm out there with the kids. I know what these kids have. And oftentimes it's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sure, they built a skate park. Okay. Well, when I got there, people, I kicked off the side of a, what do you call that thing? You know, when the people are injecting those little blue bottles of water. So maybe during the day, it's a skate park, but at night, it's someplace to shoot up. And for anyone to sit up there and say that, I don't even know if this battery's working. Let me go see. Well, I seen a light. I'm talking. I seen a light, and I said record. Hold on. Just let me finish, okay? Anyway, we know our kids need more services. We know that one person can't do it all. We're learning that through these videos. That's the point of these videos. That's the point of this yard. I'm talking. I just gave you porridge.
Huh?
So, anyway, I'll be back. Alrighty-o. There's that Tabby Tom again. Hello, Tabby Tom. Where do you come from? Okay, so here, this is make a path in here today. I'm afraid to look. Members and friends, every fucking year it's the same shit. It's pathetic. What happens when it rains? You can see all that crud. It just accumulates. Anyway, get up in here. So my little greenhouse has been severely neglected. I still have a herb in there. One. I see an onion survived. I'm going to start getting into this stuff. This is awful. Alright, hold on. Hold on. So, There's the baseboards for the bathroom. That's like half done. I have to finish it with my son. But that's for another day. Start working on clearing out this stuff a little bit today. Alright, it's been sitting out here for too long already. This actually locks, so that's okay. I'll open that up and start putting some things away. Alright, it's nice and dry. Actually, it's quite dry, and I think the other side will be very dry too. So this is working. So I'll tidy up in here a little bit. Jerry's going to come and finish putting up the slats on that roof. He said I can move in any time now. Here's our potato patch, people. You can see it's way past the fence. And there's a fennel plant in there, growing in a little pot. There, you can see it right here. That's fennel down there. And the peas are getting big. There's my bumblebee that came by and say hello. Oh no, that one's a hornet. So I'm going to have to run. Oh, look at this. Already growing. That was the survivor pea from last year. Look how tall it is. It's huge. So these ones are starting to grow. So I'm going to maybe run another stick. There's that old famous morning glory. Beans are growing. That's good. Everything's sprouted. Let's see what else we got here. There's the greenhouse. Yeah. I tell you, it feels good to be in here, though. It has a really good feel to it. Even though it's not put together yet, it's a nice size, and it feels strong, very sturdy. Do that over there. I don't know, people. This yard is something else. Well, at least the morning glory is not as bad as it used to be. I remember a couple years ago this was just full by this time. Like full. I'm talking full. And the raccoons haven't been in here either, it doesn't look like. So that's good. Oh, but I smell something. The raccoons are bad. Blackberry bush popping through from the other side of the fence. This used to be all nicely dug up, but as you can see, it's already starting to grow back. Rhubarb is taken off. Oh boy, look at this thing. It just sprouted all kinds of baby rhubarb. This thing is huge. Uh-oh, we're getting raspberries. Oh my god. Oh my god, look at this, people. Look at that, raspberries. I gotta come out here and pick some raspberries with my little grandson. Oh, look at that. Raspberries. Oh my god. Oh my god. Raspberries everywhere. Okay. And then these little guys, they picked up that fungus. I don't know. Oh, well, there's one little squash already starting to grow. That's too funny. These things I'm going to try and have go up the fence. But they picked up that from the rain, right? There's the hen house. Well, this area looks a little better from compared to where it's been. Those potatoes have just, hold on a minute. Oh yeah, we got some blueberries growing too. Not many, but just a few. Dinner. There's some kale. So that looks like it's almost ready to come in. And some onions growing in there. Hold on. Okay, so now we're going into the hen house area. This year much better than it was last year. Last year it was just full of weeds. Look at these potato plants. They're like huge. I just couldn't shovel any more dirt in them. It was exhausting. There's my bees. Uh-oh, it looks like something dug underneath there though. Something's moved in, people. Oops. Something lives underneath there. Can you see that? I wonder if it's a raccoon. A baby raccoon living with the bees over there. Because the bee's nest was over here. Where are the bees? Something crawled underneath that thing. The bees live underneath here. Oh. Okay, members and friends. It was why either one of two things. It was like a raccoon that came in and raided the bee's nest. Because if you notice, it's completely gone. Nothing here to suggest that it was even here. Or it was a human that came in with a shovel, because there was nothing like this to show it was dug out. It was just scooped out. It was almost like it was scooped out. So I'm wondering if somebody came into my yard and took my bees. Because every now and then, stupid things happen around here. Right? Stupid things like that, because there's nothing here. It doesn't show signs of an animal digging. As it came in and they just scooped it out. Took the whole nest. That's what they did. Right? Well, easier to walk around now. They'll come back. Get up on there. Hold on. And then we got Lady Bird Pearl laying an egg. Mr. Lay saying, "Let me out." Alright. Bunch of kale turned to seed. Some spinach growing over here. I'm finding this lettuce to be bitter, so I don't know. I have to wash this stuff, put everything away again. Right? It's a lot of work, people. That's a lot to go through just to get some kind of storage that's dry, while people come in the middle of the night and raid you of your bees. And then we got the front, the big old dust pit now. That's all it is, dust. It just spews dust and dirt into the house. I was just telling my dad that was a human that took those bees, because if it was an animal, there would be a pile of dirt. Now we'll go back like this. You'd see that. You'd see that on the outside. You know, you'd see like this. Oops. Yeah, you'd see something like that, where the dirt would be moved. It wasn't. It was scooped out. Right? So somebody came in with a shovel and took the whole nest. For whatever reason. Right? Either for, this is where the pond's going to be. But I'm kind of discouraged because I have this huge mess out here. And because they mixed everything around, it's really hard. Right? Oh, I got plums too. So, gotta work on that. Morning glory is still under control out here, so, you know, to a degree. I just got a different problem now. Right? Very oppressive. Very oppressive. Right? As if I have the energy to put that all back. My daughter and grandson's garden is just growing wild, and daughter's not around, so When do I have time to do anything with it? I don't. Right? So that's just, I don't know. That potato patch is doing okay. My grandson could come out and get a couple strawberries. And then there's this big ass mess down here.